My wife's best friend moved into our guest room temporarily. 6 months later, she's still there. When I complained, my wife said, "If you don't like it, leave." So I did. I left them both in the house I was about to sell. "Maybe you're the temporary one." Sarah's words hung in the air like poison gas, filling the living room of the house I'd bought with my inheritance, the house I'd owned for 4 years before I even met her, the house she was currently sitting in with her unemployed best friend who'd been temporarily staying in our guest room for 6 months. Rachel laughed from the couch, actually laughed, like it was the funniest thing she'd ever heard. "What's that supposed to mean?" I asked. My voice came out steadier than I felt. My hands were clenched into fists in my pockets. "It means," Sarah said, standing up and crossing her arms, "if you don't like the situation, you can leave. Rachel and I are perfectly fine without you." I looked at my wife of 3 years, the woman I'd married in a small ceremony in Napa Valley, the woman who'd cried when I'd carried her over the threshold of this house, the woman who was now telling me to get out in front of Rachel. Rachel, who'd shown up in January with 2 suitcases and red eyes, promising it would be just a few weeks while she got back on her feet after her boyfriend dumped her. That was 6 months ago. It was now June. Rachel had paid exactly $0 in rent, ate our food, my food technically since I paid for groceries, used our Netflix account that I paid for, left dishes piled in the sink and wine bottles on the counter every single night, and every night she and Sarah would stay up late in the living room, laughing, whispering, going silent whenever I walked in, like I was the intruder, in my own goddamn house. "You're serious?" I asked Sarah. "Dead serious," she replied. Rachel was smirking now, full-on smirking, like she'd won something. "Okay," I said quietly, "I'll leave." I turned and walked down the hallway to our bedroom. My bedroom, the master bedroom in the 4-bedroom Craftsman I'd bought in 2019 for $487,000 cash from my grandfather's estate. The house Sarah thought was ours, the house that was actually only mine. I pulled my suitcase from the closet and started packing. Clothes, laptop, important documents, birth certificate, passport, the deed to the house that was in my name and my name alone, the deed Sarah had never bothered to look at, the deed that proved this beautiful house in Northeast Portland with the original hardwood floors and the renovated kitchen we'd spent $43,000 updating last year. This house belonged to exactly one person, me. Sarah didn't come to the bedroom, didn't ask me to stay, didn't apologize. From the living room, I heard Rachel say, "Good riddance. He was always so uptight about everything." Sarah laughed. My wife laughed. I zipped up my suitcase, took one last look at the bedroom I'd slept in for 7 years, and walked out the front door. Didn't look back, didn't say goodbye, just left. What Sarah didn't know, what she was about to find out, was that the beautiful 4-bedroom Craftsman she loved so much, the house she'd been treating like her personal kingdom for the past 6 months, the house she'd just told me to leave, it wasn't hers. It had never been hers, and I was about to take it away. 6 months earlier, Rachel had shown up on a Tuesday evening in January. It was raining, typical Portland winter, the kind of rain that soaks through everything and makes you question why anyone lives in the Pacific Northwest. Sarah answered the door,